Hi, it's a beautiful fall morning here in Maryland. The leaves are coming off the trees. Winter's coming. Normally this whole place is shady, but with the cold coming in, the sunshine's finally starting to come through. I've been coming out here a lot. It's beautiful. Yeah. But it's not home. And it never will be. And I've been thinking about Guam a lot. I've been thinking about it since the primary election that Sabrina and I were unsuccessful in, running for governor, lieutenant governor. I've been thinking about these last 4 years in the Congress, all the work we did, all the relief that we brought in, stimulus, unemployment assistance, rental assistance, utility assistance, child care assistance, Medicaid, even the tax refund situation. I mean, when all the federal dollars came in, we were able to pay off the deficit, catch up on tax refunds, and then when we fixed EITC in the Congress and the Treasury said that they're going to hold that money now for tax refunds, we permanently have a funding source for it. We fixed those things. I've been thinking about the 6 years I served before Congress as your senator in the Guam legislature, thinking about the times we spoken up, regardless of party. Just fight the good fight. Do what's good for the people. Didn't even sign a party pledge because we weren't going to commit ourselves to something that we knew we shouldn't. It should never be about that. And we did all of that. We did all of that because we wanted to, set a standard for how the focus should be for those that you elect in office. That it should be based on outcomes, on expectations, on delivering for our people, and on evaluating ideas based on their merits and not based on whether it's Democrat or Republican, focusing on what's good for Guam. We wanted that to be the standard. And the last election, it just showed how politics has such a grip on Guam these days. That despite outcomes, negativity and distraction can turn off so many. We had the lowest voter turnout in the primary since 1972. We literally set ourselves back 50 years. 50 years. And it's so uncharacteristic of our history. We've been fighting the good fight since the Spanish times. Even if we lose, we just don't give up. And for our people to not even come out to vote. And what I've been thinking about so much isn't whether we won or lost, but it's about what that means. I've been thinking about how the passion of our people is becoming so diminished. How that fire that was supposed to burn is starting to wane. And it's been bothering me a lot. Because once politicians learn, and once it becomes proven that all they got to do is take care of just enough, and they can ignore everybody else and just turn them all off and disgust them so they don't even bother coming out anymore, then it's never going to be about what's best for Guam. And it's always going to be about who do I need to take care of, which groups, and how many, so that I can also keep doing what I want. And I don't blame people for gravitating towards that. Times are so hard. Any little bit helps, right? And if it means turning a blind eye, people are so desperate. It's like exploitation. People are so desperate that they're just going to go where they need to go and do what they need to do. But once politicians learn that formula works, that's how things are always going to be. And our island is so small. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? The ones that are taken care of are going to continue to thrive. The ones that are neglected are going to suffer so badly that they leave. I mean, gas, food, power bills. It's getting so hard to live on Guam. And so you're either in and you're going to be able to keep going and keep voting for that, or you're out and you're at best left out, or you're targeted and the system is used to come after you. And what happens is that those who don't follow the right politics are going to leave. And it's only going to consolidate those groups and that power more, and then that's what Guam is going to become forever. And I just can't accept that. And it's been bothering me. I've been wanting to say something, but that whole troll farm hate organization, she's going to come out and say, "Oh, you're a sore loser. Accept your loss and move on." It's never been about that, though. It's never been about winning. I mean, that's one of the reasons why, too, we didn't even go out and fundraise so much. We didn't want to take money from struggling people, and we certainly didn't want to make any deals. I mean, look at what's happening now. Those GMH contracts and the dirty procurements. And the arrogance to be so willing to do all of that while everyone's hurting. That just goes to show that the politics is so convinced that they got this. They're even willing to hold on to hundreds of millions of dollars and profit off of it while our people are suffering. But I cannot accept us surrendering to that, allowing that fire to burn out, allowing this to become how things are always going to be. We can't turn out like this place out here. Gang versus gang. No matter how beautiful it is. That's one of the things that makes our island so special. Minatfat Maulik wasn't just a political catchphrase, it was a way of life. I want to ask you something, and I've never really asked for anything before. Even when running for office, we always wanted to earn it, but we lost, and I don't have any. I'm not running for anything, but I do want to ask you something. I want to ask you to not give up. Don't let them steal that passion. Don't let them put out that flame. Don't let them take you to a place where you don't even want to bother anymore. Don't let them have that. Don't let them take that from you. And don't let them take that from Guam. And it's not just about you going out and taking 20 minutes and, oh, you're too busy, or it's too much, or it's not worth it. Not making it count isn't just about the election. It's about what we're teaching our children, what we're teaching our siblings, what we're teaching our families, what we're showing our friends. If we surrender that, everyone is going to start following suit. So I'm asking you to please come out and vote. Please come out and vote on November 8th. Fight that good fight. Fight for Guam. There's a movie I've been thinking about in all of this, and there's a particular scene in this movie. It's an old movie. It wasn't old during my time, but it's old now. It's called Braveheart. It stars Mel Gibson, and it's the Scottish versus the English. And the Scottish leaders are all meeting in that one scene that I keep thinking about. They're all meeting, talking about whether or not they're going to challenge the king. And the king is so powerful, so vindictive. You go against him and he comes after you. You go with him and he gives you lands. And they're all arguing about whether or not they're going to challenge him. And then they get to a point where they just say, we don't have to beat them. We just have to fight them. So come out and vote. Come out and vote on November 8th. Don't let them extinguish that flame. I'm going to get on a plane. I'm going to fly thousands of miles back, and I'm going to be there to vote. Join me.